I can connect. We are now live.
We are now live.
We are live.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to our Tuesdays Live.
Yay. Thanks for joining us on the Families of Character page. If you are joining us for the first time, this is about the 6th week we've been doing this live on Tuesdays. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Jordan.
And the reason we come live to you is because we are trying to create a tribe of parents who are intentional with their kids, who want the same things. So who want their kids to be kind, to want their kids to be helpful, to want their kid to raise their kids, I guess I should be saying.
Yeah.
So that's our, hi Stephanie, hi Charity. That's our goal here with these Facebook Lives. So thanks for joining us. We are here every Tuesday. I almost said Thursday. Every Tuesday at 11:30 Mountain Standard Time. So welcome back, and welcome back, Jordan.
Yay!
My trusty sidekick here, she was lost on the other side of the world.
I was lost, and now I've been found.
Now she's back from New Zealand.
Yes, my 3 children and my husband have found me.
You were with your husband.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was with my husband. Hi, husband.
Are you still a little jet lagged, I would say?
You know, I still have vacation brain, right?
Yeah.
So bear with me this video. I may just be lagging behind and just on my, relaxing kind of chill times. It's very laid back and easygoing in New Zealand. And so I'm hoping to just infiltrate all of you with a little relaxation, a little, calm, a little
New Zealand.
Yes.
I saw your pictures. You guys did a great job of posting on Facebook, so it looked very lush and very green.
It was beautiful. Yes. Very grateful to our parents for watching our children and really spending some really good quality time with them. That was a huge benefit for our kids, I know, and for us, obviously. So
yeah,
shout
it takes
out to
a
the
village.
parents. That's
Definitely takes a village. We know that, and that's why we, that's part of what we're doing here. We're creating a village of like-minded people.
Yeah, parents. Go parents. Parent
Yay.
wins.
All right, look, Stephanie Adams. We're just going to get off topic a little bit. Love your lipstick colors.
Hey, Stephanie.
Thanks.
Look at all you.
I know, and Charity's joining us live for the first time, so welcome. Connie's on.
Awesome.
Courtney's on. We've got some people on Insta over here.
Yeah.
Whoops, as I wave
Hey,
at them.
ladies.
Okay, so that's fun. Fun little energy.
I
Fun
know.
little spunk.
We got to get our
Yeah.
mojo back.
How's
here.
everyone else doing, you guys? For the month of February, we talked about helpfulness. We had a lot of topics that we talked about. So shout out to anything that worked.
Yes. Tell
Anything.
us. Helpfulness.
Yep. We want to hear your feedback. So as we kind of get into this month, we're switching gears because it's the month of March. So we're going to switch gears to a completely new topic, and we hope to bring a little bit more good conversation to our community. Okay?
Oh, yeah. We've got a good one for you, folks.
Yeah.
Self-control. Another word for that is temperance. So some of you may have heard of this character strength referred to as temperance or self-control. But they're one and the same. And so we're going to talk to you about self-control or temperance as it relates to children and
Screen time. Today we're talking about screen time. Yeah. We know it's a controversial topic, but we just kind of felt like it was, that light up on Instagram is like shining right behind me. Sorry, Instagram.
This is a real issue, screen time with our kids. We know that. This is trending here and now. It's our reality. So we've got to bring it to you. If it's happening, we're bringing it to you.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we want to do is we want to bring topics that could be really hard to talk about, but
need to
be talked about. So join the conversation with us. Obviously, my big thing is we are not here to judge anybody. Everyone, parents differently. But at the same time, we do need to be able to take a step back and maybe see where we are letting our passions and desires get a little bit out of control.
Oh, yes.
And need to be reined in. So anyway, raise your hand, give me a thumbs up if anyone out there kind of struggles with this issue.
Screen time. Moderation.
With their kids.
Self-control.
Yep.
It's happening in my house.
It's definitely happening in our house as well. And we're talking do we say this? iPads, cell phones,
tablets,
TV. I don't really know who watches TV anymore.
Computer, PC,
yep, computers.
Movies.
Mm-hmm. That's
right?
true. Netflix. That's
Yeah.
true. So, it's one of those things that we live in a society with a lot of digital technology, and it's not all bad.
It isn't.
No. But at the same time, you kind of got to know when it's getting a little bit out of control, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I
Wait.
mean, what?
Don't you have a story about that? Tell us a little bit about the Newman house
I
after
love
Christmas
that.
break.
Oh, we were talking about this. We were. I do have a story about that. Let's see. What is my story about excessive screen time? Oh my gosh. So it's cold in Colorado, right? And during the summertime, my kids go outside all the time and play. But during Christmas break, we let it get out of control a little too much. We were like, whatever you want, whatever you want, whatever you want. And so then that actually played into when we went back to school. And we have a policy in our house. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you might have the same policy where during the weeknights when it's school time, we are not allowed to be on screens.
Right.
Because we have homework and it just kind of gets you off your rhythm.
Right, the routine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's hard to rein back in. So, we understand, especially in our world, we as parents, we were really burnt out. And so I was working at night and Donnie just kind of let the kids roam free every single night. And so, I can understand. He was fried at the end of the day. So we got into this habit of all the time during Christmas break.
Yes.
Back to school, every single night, everyone was like individually docked on their devices.
Oh, man.
Instead of their devices being docked.
Right.
And then there was the weekends. It was seeping into the weekends too. And it was like 48 hours of continual just screen time. So what we started to notice, or what I noticed, I brought to Donnie's attention. I was like, hey, have you been noticing like the kids are fighting so much more?
Oh, yeah.
And have you been noticing that no one is doing anything that we're asking them to do? So they had kind of like fallen into this selfish pattern.
Yep.
And so that was really, really difficult. As parents, like I felt like I was screaming and yelling all the time trying to get them what they were
Right.
doing. So I brought it up to Donnie's attention and he was like, I don't know, maybe. And yeah, that was kind of...
You said, let's get back to the rules.
Let's get back to it.
Let's get back to the rules.
We had to
here.
find a temperate...
Yes, option.
Middle ground. So...
Well, as our kids, to give ourselves a little bit of a break, and like you said, it's understandable. We all get fried, and we need a little bit of rest time from being on. And so we are tempted, just like they are, to say, you know what, go do whatever.
Yeah.
If you want to spend time on the iPad, go ahead and spend time on the iPad.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is, I've been thinking about this, is so, we give them free reign, but then we'll like come back. I don't know if you guys do this, but we'll come back and get mad at them. Like, come on, Parker, if you have been on this game for 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like the rage just comes up.
Right. And I'm the one that gave him permission to get on the game in the first place. Right? Maybe without limits.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
I think that brings up like a really good point that like we have to teach our kids how to control their passions and desires. And that's kind of what temperance is, what self-control is. We talked about a couple weeks, maybe in the very beginning of our live streams, like kids are not born with a manual, and they're also not born with like they know how to regulate certain things.
Yeah, like their passions and desires.
Yeah.
There's no like ding ding ding.
Oh, it's time to turn it off. Today. Yeah. So anyway, so we have to teach them that as parents, right?
Absolutely.
We have to teach them. Yeah. Set boundaries. Courtney says set boundaries. Stephanie says TV is a drug. It alters brain function. I totally agree. I feel like I've done a lot of research where it messes with the frontal lobe of your brain. I
know. It gets kids wanting more and more. So really, what we want to drive, the point we want to drive home today is, like Sarah said, as parents, we are in control of helping our children moderate and really wrangle in their passions and desires, right? So what is self-control and temperance? It's really a combination of moderation and self-control, right? So I think of, I always have analogies.
Yeah, you have a good analogy.
They're kind of silly.
She comes out like out of nowhere with these analogies. I'm like, oh, that's a good one.
I'm kind of a word picture person, so I like to put things in analogies that people could, think of in their mind's eye, I guess. So I was thinking, what's one thing most of us do on a regular basis? Drive our car, right? So when we talk about self-control or moderation in driving, we think about like our gas tank, okay? So there's two ends of the spectrum. One, you could drive around on a regular basis on empty. You know how it is, like on fumes, when you're like, oh man, I hope I make it through this stoplight. You need to turn green, put it in neutral. Let's just hang out here so I don't burn any gas until I have to go. That creates anxiety, right? Unnecessary anxiety. But at the same time, you don't need to be running to the gas station every morning to top it off, to get it all the way up to full, because that's a waste of time, right? So those ends of the spectrum, neither of them are good. So if you roll around and, somewhere between a quarter of a tank and 3/4 of a tank, you're good.
Yeah.
That feels better. So that moderating the amount of gas that you have in your tank and kind of keeping an eye on it and just, spending as least amount of time as a gas station as necessary, but not running on fumes, like that's just the sweet spot. And that's what we're really stressing today with kids, is we have to help them find the sweet spot when it comes to technology. We cannot allow them to just go willy-nilly, when have I had enough of this? Because their brains do not have that shut off button.
No, they don't. Courtney, nice analogy, Jordan.
Oh, thanks.
That was all Jordan. I don't come up with analogies.
No, this is just how I think about life all the time.
So kind of a good question is, take an honest look. We're really going to challenge you because we have actually been working on this for the past month ourselves. We felt like we had to work on it before we could bring it to you guys.
Well, yeah.
So take an honest look at how much screen time you do or don't let your kids have. Okay? And I mean, when some of the things that come to mind when I was really, really thinking about this was like, okay, it's winter, it's snowy, we're definitely inside more, but at the same time, my kids don't need to be on a device all the time.
Right.
They can play. We've got tons of toys, a house full of toys that they can use and play with, and they can play with each other, and they can really work on their relationship together. And so when I was thinking about this, those were some of the thoughts that came to me. So Donnie and I ended up going back to the story in the beginning where my kids were just like out of control on devices, and then it seeped into fighting and non-creativity and all that kind of stuff. I brought to Donnie's attention, I said, this is kind of a radical idea, but what if we did a screen-free February? And he
attacking cold turkey.
Yeah, and he kind of gave me some pushback, which some of you guys might give me some pushback. I'm not suggesting you do this, but
it's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone, but it's just an idea to toss around in your household. So we did screen-free February. Donnie gave me pushback. He's like, well, I don't think there's any research out there that's gonna prove that. And I said, well, there might or might not be, but we might as well try it because it's not gonna hurt us.
Right.
And so we did screen-free February. And at first, my kids were pissed. They were so mad. In the middle of it, we had a birthday where it was our oldest's birthday, and he ended up getting a video game that he had asked for his Nintendo Switch. And so we allowed them to play about a day and a half of Nintendo Switch so that they could kind of enjoy that.
Not like a full on 36 hours.
Right. Not a full on 48 or 36
moderated
hours.
A few hours.
Yeah, but here, play for a little bit, take a break, go do something else. But that's kind of what temperance is. It's kind of teaching them how to control their on and off button. It's teaching them how to say, okay, enough is enough. I've been sitting here for an hour.
Yes.
I need to turn it off.
Right.
Yada, yada. So we allowed them to have about a day and a half of playing Zelda.
Okay.
And then we went back to screen-free February.
Wow.
And, okay, let me tell you the positive things that happened.
Tell me.
I mean, there wasn't really anything negative that happened except for
The whining at the beginning, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Pushback.
So that was part of it. But, okay, like within 4 days, my kids stopped fighting. And at night, it was crazy because they'd be like, my daughter would say to my son, hey, let's play Sushi Go, which is a card game. Let's play Sushi Go. And then the three of them would get involved in playing a card game together.
Unity. It creates
So it totally created
family.
unity. Yes. They went back to like stepping up to the plate. Like, oh, I noticed that the trash needs to be taken out. Or, oh, I noticed that all of these toys over here are. So it kind of like took them out of their individual selfishness of desires and opened it back up to seeing the world around them.
Wow.
So
that's enough right there to make me think.
Yeah, it was a pretty positive outcome.
Well, it's March though.
I know.
Like it's March, what, 5th?
Yeah. Hi, Tracy. What is the date? March 5th.
So what's happening in March? You went free in February with a little bit of temperance and self-control around video games for the birthday, but now what?
Know what? Yeah. We actually had a conversation about it with our kids, and they were open to the conversation at that point. So that was beneficial.
Okay.
We said that, one of their questions was, are we going screen-free March? And my husband was like, not totally screen-free, but we'll figure out, we're going to figure out ways to where we'll be, we're going to rein it in. So we got a little bit out of control, and now we're going to rein it in a little bit.
There you go. You put the boundaries back in place. And
yeah. Actually, last night, my 6-year-old was like, can I play the iPad? And we were like, nope, it's a school night. Like, that was the original rule. And instead of getting a huge pushback, he was like, okay. And kind of like just went along his way and found something else for his creative brain to do.
yes, that's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, that's our little story. I don't know if if you want to go cold turkey, do it. It's kind of, spring is a transition into getting back to the core of, like inner peace.
Yeah. And then getting ready to be outside, like you said, like doing more active things and being outside, watching the flowers bloom, all that good stuff that comes in springtime.
I know, I'm so excited. No snow.
So let's give these folks 3 things about kids having screen time. Okay, we're gonna give you 3 ideas.
Yeah, because we didn't really feel like we should come on, have this conversation about technology and then just say, hey, go cold turkey. Like, you can if you want, but there's other ideas on how to moderate and temper your screen time activity in your house.
Yes.
So the first one would be control the amount of screen time that they have. And I think, I don't know, I have to kind of scroll back up through the comments, but I think it was Stephanie, or no, here we go, Shauna, set a limit on their iPads for 30 minutes.
Awesome.
Yep. So setting a timer. I know, like in our house, as parents, you know what we need? We need the device that totally turns off in 30 minutes.
Right.
Because
you're cooking dinner or you're helping another kid with homework and all of a sudden an hour goes by.
Yeah. So anyway, set the amount of time, control the amount of time.
Love it. You can do the microwave timer. You can do the settings on the device. All of the devices have those where it'll shut down. Figure out how to use them. It'll be worth it.
Yep.
Second thing is monitor what they are doing while they're on their screens. Holy cow, this requires our attention as parents, right? But remember, it's our job to help them regulate their passions and desires. We do not leave this up to our children. That is unfair to them. Think about that.
That's true. That's a good point.
It's unfair to them.
It's unfair to them.
They don't have the ability to do that on their own.
Yeah.
Okay?
Monitor. So like you were saying, monitor what they see. But you also had a good idea. What do you guys do in your house?
So we dock all of our electronics on the main floor, and kids are not allowed to take their iPad, iPhones, whatever, tablets upstairs. to their bedrooms or in a place where they're unable to be supervised. Even if they're talking on the phone, they kind of have to be in earshot on the main floor. So it's good to get in the habit. You may start this at the beginning of the month, or maybe if you think like April 1st, we're going to get a docking station and everybody's going to have their cord plugged in and we're all going to dock our phones or our iPads or our switches or whatever to charge them overnight and to keep them out of bedrooms. And like, it's just what we do every night.
Do you dock your cell phone downstairs or do you dock it in your room?
I used to dock it downstairs, but I have to admit, and a long time ago, I got a regular alarm clock. Because I was using the excuse that my phone was my alarm. Yeah. Well, I have an alarm clock, like the big blue bright light. Beep, beep, beep. It's really not very pleasant, but
oh my gosh.
You know, that's something that would be super. I need to get back to that. Like, you just totally busted me out.
I know,
and I love it because this is what this whole community of folks is about. It's really about keeping each other accountable and gently just like confronting things that we're doing that might not be helpful for our kids, right? I mean, if they see me laying in bed scrolling on my phone through Facebook, they're smart. They know what that is. Yeah. It's not teaching a good lesson. It's hypocritical.
Yeah.
So
the third idea that we were talking about is, and this kind of, it plays into temperance and self-control, and kind of what we talked about before, but helping them develop the right usage.
Yes.
Because like we said before, kids they're not born with a self-regulator.
No.
We have to teach them that. Same goes for amount of cookies they eat or whatever their vice is.
Exactly.
All kids are different. But
so really helping them develop the proper use of screen time. You know, if you're on there and you say you're going to be doing your homework, check up on them. You doing your homework? Oh, cool. Why do we have, YouTube open? We're doing homework, right? So helping them remember,
Courtney,
do what you're doing, okay? Do what you say you're going to be doing on these screens.
Yeah.
Right? And parental controls, y'all. That we have to put these on our devices for our kids because technology isn't bad. What kids have access to on technology can be extremely bad. It can be detrimental to their lives. So,
and they might not even realize it.
Oh, they most often don't realize it.
They don't realize it.
But again, our responsibility.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap up.
Let us just leave you with this. We're going to say this twice.
Jordan's going to say it
and
twice.
We need it for ourselves too. Okay, y'all, we are with you. We are in the trenches with you. We are not above you. We might be behind some of you. So when we condition our kids' behavior to control their passions and desires, it makes it easier for them to say no to things later on in their lives that are going to have really negative consequences. Okay? The bigger the kids get, the bigger the consequences get. Think about that.
Someone used to, actually, I have a friend who says this to me all the time. She says, small kids, small problems. Big kids, big problems. And at the time, my kids were little, and I was like, oh, but they're so exhausting. Yes. Now they're a little bit older. They're in the middle of where they're going, and they're exhausting even more. It is harder. It gets mentally harder. And so it is so true. Like when we condition our kids to control their passions and desires, it becomes easier for them to say no to things later in life that
we want them to say no to.
Yes. So,
okay.
That was a big aha for me. Woo. A few years back when someone told me that.
It's the truth. It's the truth. Yeah. So, y'all, parent wins. Okay.
What are they? Yeah.
We see parenting isn't easier.
Grandparents. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Could have used this before last weekend.
Oh, my mom was watching my children. That's all right. We're reconditioning
funny.
this week now that
That's
I'm back
funny.
from vacation.
Yeah, some of that rage going on.
Right. Well, hey, they did play games instead of, video games. They
That's
played
good.
like actual games, so that's awesome.
Yay, that's good. Okay, a couple of reminders. Please share this video. Especially this one. I know we've talked about a lot of fun things last month. I think my babysitter's here. You want to go get my front door? We talked about a lot of fun things last month in regards to helpfulness, and this month we have a completely new topic that we're talking about in terms of temperance and self-control. So we invite you to share this. Please share it. We want as many people to hear this as possible. And screen time is a controversial topic, so let's
be united.
Yes, let's be united in this. And then check out our blogs. Go and subscribe to our blogs. We have a whole new fresh batch of blogs coming up this month, and some of them are really, really good. We've been editing them and working on those, and so go and check that out.
Supplemental information that goes along with this video, okay?
Yes.
Self-control, temperance, lots of fun articles about that. So check us out.
Yep. Join us next week.
And we'll catch you
Next week, we have a fun new topic next week. We will announce the conversation next Monday. And we've already been working on it, so it's kind of fun. And then just have a great week, guys. Stay warm. Share the love. Read our blogs.
Like us.
Yep. And happy spring.
And get some soup, because it's cold.
Yeah. That's what
See
we're going to do.
ya.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.